Differentiated instruction. Differentiated instruction is a method of designing and delivering instructions to best reach each student, a framework philosophy for effective teaching that involves providing different students with different avenues of learning, acquiring knowledge and content. We use different kinds of differentiated teaching in many different ways. How do teachers differentiate instruction? Teachers need to provide different learning avenues for students to get to the same destination. For an example, when students are learning about cutting, some students need to have better hand-eye coordination and their fine motor skills. So one group would work on cutting lines on the line. So they'd work on curved lines, straight lines, zigzag lines, while another group would need the fine motor skills, would work on just cutting in the basic motion of opening and closing the scissors and taking the scissors where you need them to go. How do we prepare students and classrooms for differentiated learning? Designing lessons based on the child and children's abilities. At the beginning of the year, it's easier to start with past assessments, but not to use them completely, just so you can get a better grasp of where each child stands. Managing the classroom to create a safe and supportive, positive environment for the child. When the child feels comfortable and happy, their ability to learn and grasp material and content is increased drastically. We need to continually assess the children to find out and make sure that they're learning what we need them to learn, and if they're not, figure out why and what way we can manipulate our learning instruction to better fit their needs. Common classroom practices to engage differentiated instruction. When you deliver your instructions to your children, primarily just using lecturing, the majority of your class may get it, but the few that don't need to have different ways of grasping the concept of what you're trying to tell them. We do that a lot at our school by using hand motions and examples. I do my best to do a lot of lateral talking so they can see what I'm doing as I'm doing it. I like to show them what I want them to be able to do by not only lecturing them, but by examples. Grouping students based on test scores from a previous year. Like I said before, I think that's a great tool in the beginning, but for a short period, because you are limiting them to what they knew before, to what they know now. And when you group children based on not only their abilities, you group them by their interests, by their what they like to learn about best, and kind of along with other students who learn the same way they do. When the children are having fun and enjoying and engaging what they're doing, they're going to grasp the content and material much more. Giving bonus points based on participation, I really don't think that's fair. You have many children in our district and in our room who come from dual language households. They may hear a lot, they may speak primarily Spanish at home, but at school we tend to try and have them speak a lot of English. So they hear both, and sometimes that gets kind of lost in translation, so we don't want them to be afraid to speak up. So when you have the students who are constantly raising their hands and getting those additional points, the ones who aren't as confident with what they know or what they're saying, they're going to find it very difficult to rise to that occasion. Like I said, there's a lot of children who do well with the bonus points because of group participation, but there's others who are going to fall behind because they're not as confident in what they're speaking or how they're speaking. And that's my presentation on differentiated instruction. I hope I was able to help you learn a little, and there you go.